What it do, comic babies? I'm Bunkmaster B, and today we're doing an art unboxing. That's right, it's been a little while since I put up a video. I'm feeling like I don't want to think too hard, and I got some original art I've been waiting to show you guys, so let's check that out. So, we've got two different groups that sent us some art today. First one, I would say really kind of the big daddy of the original art game right now. This is Felix Art Group. You guys know, or maybe you don't, a lot of the biggest names in the business are represented by Felix right now. He does a great job. People are not leaving his art group en masse. Fortunately, I'll tell you right now, this is not a Daniel Warren Johnson piece. I wish I tried for every Transformers drop and have not got in. So maybe someday, but let's see what we got. Alright, so there are 3 pages in here. 2 pieces and from 2 different series. So one of the ones that is in here is a double page spread, so it's really the same piece, but it's a double page spread, so it's 2 different ones. 2 different artists, 2 different series. So we're going to start it off. I'm not even going to wait to open to show you guys. This is Stuart Immonen from Ultimate Spider-Man. Stuart Immonen is one of my all-time favorite artists in comics, and recently Felix had an art drop where, in honor of the new Ultimate Spider-Man #1 coming out by Jonathan Hickman, Stuart went back in the archives, found a few old pages floating around, and I managed to grab some of them. So this might be a little bit of a weird page from that, probably not what people are thinking, but I'm excited to explain. So let's, I'll see you when we get this open and we're looking at the double page. All right. Look at this. Look at how clean and beautiful this page is. So the reason that I said this is probably not what people are expecting is this does not have Spider-Man on it, which is kind of weird for Ultimate Spider-Man. I believe that's actually Peter in the corner there. But obviously, you know, this drop came at least 10 years after this issue came out. So this was not, you know, like a full issue drop. This was kind of what was available. And I had tried first, if you guys are any kind of art collectors, you know what a grab, you know, just a run to that order button it is when there's a new Felix drop that comes out. And I had tried for an action piece that had Dr. Octopus, which I was a little late for. So, couldn't get that. So, after that, I kind of sat back and was thinking, well, what do I want from this? So first, what I wanted is, I love storytelling pages. You know, it's been commented before that, you know, I'm more attracted to getting a story in a page than I am sort of a big impact splash moment. I don't really have a lot of covers in my collection, mostly just because I'm not gravitating towards sort of the static images. I like movement. I like something happening there. And obviously you get this particular, you know, this page tells the story of a confrontation in a hallway with a bully at a school. And so you get some of that. You get some hallmarks of the series. It's a Bendis story. Obviously Mark Bagley was the main series artist on this. By the time that this comes out, he's off of it. But Bendis is famous for his talking heads, the multiple panel layouts. And you really get some of that happening here. Well, just insanely clean artwork from Stuart. I mean, look at that line work. Just, even in just the inks, it just pops so much. I love Stuart's work. Some of my absolute favorite pages I own. In fact, the one I have from Secret Identity, it's sentimental for a few reasons, but that might be my single favorite page. And the other thing for me that kind of gravitated towards it is Ultimate Spider-Man is, at its heart, a teenage soap opera. It is very much about teenage Peter going through his life as both a superhero and a high school student. And hey, what's more high school than a high school? So that page jumped out to me. It was also surprisingly cheap. I have no idea why Stewart lists his art for so little, but very happy he does. I adore this page, and I'm so excited for this. So that was the main one that I ordered. There's another one that Felix had that I had my eye on for a little while. So I was a little bit of a latecomer to this series, so I didn't happen to see this right when the drop went live. And when I was kind of looking through to see what was still available from it, I was pretty surprised that one of the pages, when I read this, that really kind of stood out at me was still there. And so this is Marcio Takara from the G. Willow Wilson Poison Ivy series. This is, oh, I should also say from the Stuart Immonen. That's page 112, or issue 112, page 20 and 21. So this is from Poison Ivy, issue 3, and page 22. So this is the last page of issue 3. And when I was reading through this book, this sort of half-page image right there of the tree and the reclaimed nature just so stuck out at me, both for story reasons. Again, sucker for a storytelling page. Just sort of how it tied into the story, Pamela's quest to sort of, you know, the new direction that G. Willow Wilson had been taking the character. And just sort of the impact that you get right here. I love, you know, the coming out. You get the sunrise. You get her stretching, holding her coffee, and you get that sort of splash, and then just this big moment of lush greenery. And you get this sort of, you know, these broad brush strokes that are interspersed with really sort of fine lines. And you kind of get that contrast going on. And I really, really liked that design. Again, these big, broad lines that make up the tree and really sort of key your eye in on that part of the image, and then around that you get that fine detail. I loved this image when I was reading through it. This was one of the most striking images to me. And again, because this one didn't have Poison Ivy herself on it, or it didn't have Harley, wasn't an action sequence, this was surprisingly low priced. And the fact that I was looking at this, I think I put my order in maybe a year after this issue went live, and this was still sitting there. I couldn't believe it, because when I was reading through, I went, yes, that is a striking page. I would love to own that. And hey, it was there. So that's the Felix stuff that we got there. So we've got one more art group to go through. This is one you guys have seen me open before. I would say this is probably the art group I work with most. And if you see the manila envelope, you probably already know this is Splas Patriarch. So they're out of Tennessee, and they represent a number of artists that I particularly love. One of the things that I actually really like about them is the artists that they represent tend to be very, very stylized. And my favorite pieces to own are the ones that you can kind of look at and immediately tell what artist did it because of their particular style. Things like James Stokoe, you're never going to miss something like that. On that Stuart Immonen, you can tell an Immonen piece anywhere. So that's a lot of the artists that are here with this group. So excited to check this one out. I've been holding on to this one for a while. All right. So the first piece we've got here, if you watched my last unboxing that I did, I think it was December, I showed off a number of pieces from this artist, including some from this series. And this is Netho Diaz from Predator. This one I think is issue 3, page 7. We'll see if the camera can pick up the pencils. It's always a little bit tougher there. I'm a weirdo when it comes to original art. I actually enjoy original pencils typically more than I do the inks. When I was talking to Dennis Cowan about that, he kind of just like was very, he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, I really prefer just your pencils, especially if it's someone who isn't inking their own artwork. I always like, just the kind of pencils on their own, as opposed to that. Of course, he was like, well, what if Bill Sienkiewicz was inking it? Would you like it more then? I was like, all right, Dennis, you got me. But anyway, you guys know I'm a huge booster of Netho Diaz. I think he is one of the absolute unsung talents in the industry right now. I think this guy is absolutely due for a glow up, and this page in particular stuck out at me. There's so much that I love here. We've got this awesome, cool ship that's going through this kind of lush greenery that we have there. We've got a group shot, and then we've got this really impactful shot right there of our female character in the doorway holding gun, just this really sort of action hero pose. I loved this page, and for whatever reason, Netho is just not getting the love from the original art scene that he deserves. So I'm gonna keep shouting him out, and hopefully people will finally take notice. But one of the things that I love too with the original pieces is you get to kind of see sort of the story behind the picture. So even though this is original pencils, you can actually see that it's a mix of traditional pencils, and some blue line that you get there. And you can see the blue line is really sort of the outlining, and my favorite part is actually you can see sort of where Netho is creating some focal points. So you can see right through here, Netho's kind of using the blue lines to kind of get down there and create the parallel lines that are necessary for something like a ship right there. So I love this page, and I can't understand why people aren't clamoring for more Netho Diaz, but that just means more of it for me to grab. And the last one here is another one. I think actually, of my art collection, I probably have more of this particular artist than any other artist, but I absolutely adore Tyler Jenkins. And this is my first page that I have from the series that he and his wife did, Hillary Jenkins, with Matt Kint, their usual collaborator. And this was from Haha. I think this is issue number 2. And so, of course, anytime you have the Jenkins working together, you have Hillary's beautiful gouache that's set against Tyler's lines. Tyler has a very loose style. It almost reminds me of like a little bit more of a refined Jeff Lemire, or even Matt Kint himself, which is I think why they work so well together. It's just like it's almost like he's a better Matt Kint, but he gets what Kint is going for. So you get these sort of like really loose, not abstract, but sort of very representational things that are going there. And if you know the story, the little girl, the main character here, she has been desperately trying to get away from her black cat bestie, and this is her effort to try and move on and get from that. She's on the school bus, and all the kids are there. Again, storytelling page. I'm a sucker for it. And who do we have at the bottom but Bestie following the school bus? This was such a cool page, I thought. And again, it's one of those pages that tells a story in the whole thing there. And again, you get Bestie just following, showing that tenacity that is such a hallmark of this particular series. Love this page. Was super happy to grab it. I didn't have a page yet of Hairball, so very excited to add this onto my Jenkins collection. But that's all the original art for this one. What did you guys think of what I had here? Any pages stick out to you? Any pages that you think, ooh, you kind of took an L on that one? That is clearly the weak one of the pack. Love to hear what you guys think, or just are there any original art pieces you guys are in the hunt for? Are there any from these artists you have from other series? Let me know down below. But in the meantime, I've been Bunkmaster B. You all have been amazing, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.